All right, so today we're diving into a really cool shift happening with AI. We're moving way beyond just asking it questions. We're talking about AI as a storyteller, a creative partner. We're going to see how just a few simple words can blossom into characters with real personalities and even build out entire universes from absolutely nothing.
So let's just start with a big, kind of philosophical question. Can a line of code actually create a soul? I know it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But what we're about to look at really starts to blur that line in a super interesting way.
And believe it or not, it all starts right here. Not with some super complex algorithm or anything like that. Nope. It starts with just a simple text prompt, a few words describing an anxious-looking water bottle. Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's break it down. We're going to look at the anatomy of this character, see exactly how a few specific words in a prompt can build a personality that's, well, surprisingly complex.
So the prompt starts out pretty simple. It just asks the AI for a Pixar-style 3D render of a transparent blue water bottle. Straightforward, right? This just gives us the basic shape, the physical object, nothing too crazy, yet.
But then we add this next layer, and this is where it gets interesting. The prompt adds with big, expressive, worried eyebrows and a tight mouth. And just like that, boom, a few simple words suddenly give this bottle a feeling, a genuine state of mind. It's not just an object anymore.
And the final touch? We give it an action, anxiously looking sideways. That one little phrase seals the deal. The character is complete. It's not just a water bottle anymore. It's this anxious little guy with the start of a whole story.
But here's what's really wild. The AI didn't just plop the character onto a blank canvas. It actually understood the emotional vibe. The prompt asked for soft and reflective lighting, and the AI used that to create a sense of vulnerability. It built the entire atmosphere to perfectly match the character's anxious mood. That's next level.
Okay, but it didn't just stop with one character. Oh no. The next challenge for the AI was to build out an entire cast, a whole cohesive world of these objects, and each one needed its own unique personality.
And here they are, the cast it came up with. We've got an innocent glass, a playful ice cube, a kind of authoritative water tap, and a cheerful juice box. But, and this is the really amazing part, the AI was then asked to give each of them a voice, and not just in English, but in Hindi.
So take the glass, for example. It says something that translates to, "Someone comes, and when they drink, joy appears on their face." Think about that. The AI didn't just do a word-for-word translation. It totally captured that innocent, service-oriented personality, but in a completely different language.
All right, next up, the ice cube. Its line basically translates to, "I'm small, but I live with everyone, and when someone drinks me, they get the real joy of summer." And again, you see it, right? That playful, friendly personality from the prompt comes through perfectly in its voice.
Now the water tap, totally different vibe, just like in the prompt. It says, "I am the king here. The water comes from me. I give water to everyone." You can just hear it, can't you? It's authoritative, maybe a little bit proud. It's exactly that firm, in-control character it was supposed to be.
And finally, we have our cheerful juice box, which says, "I'm colorful, I'm full of sweetness, and children get so happy when they see me." It's simple, it's sweet, and it's perfectly in character. I mean, this just shows so clearly how the AI can create and then stick to these really distinct personalities for a whole group of characters.
And this really brings us to the most important leap here. The AI isn't just describing things anymore. It's actually storytelling. It's writing dialogue in the first person, and it's flipping between languages while it does it. That's a huge deal.
This comparison right here shows the jump perfectly. On one side you have the English prompt, that's the what. And on the other, you have the first-person Hindi story it created, that's the who. See, the AI didn't just translate words. It took a description and created a character with a voice, with thoughts, with a place in its little world. That is a massive creative leap.
So, this really pushes us to think about AI in a totally new way. It's not just a tool anymore, something that just follows orders. It's becoming more of a creative partner, something that can actually contribute to the imaginative process, building out stories and ideas right there with you. All right, so let's just do a quick recap of what this AI pulled off. Number 1, it created totally distinct personalities, just from text. 2, it kept a consistent theme going across a whole cast of characters.
3, it handled all these complex instructions in 2 different languages. And 4, and this is the big one, it went from just describing an object to actually inhabiting a character. That's a really powerful combo of skills.
You know, a capability like this raises some massive questions about the future of storytelling. So for this last part, let's think a bit about what this all means and, where do we even go from here?
Really, the key takeaway from everything we've looked at is this. AI is making a huge shift. It's moving from being just a tool for information to being a partner in imagination. That's the core change right there.
And that leaves us with one last pretty tricky question to chew on. As these tools get better and better, when a story is written by a human and an AI, who's the author? Who actually gets the credit? It's a question that, honestly, we're all going to have to figure out as this technology keeps pushing forward.